Alrighty guys, so today in the memory stock, the decline continues. This is Micron, this is Sandisk, this is the morning update, and we did have TSM earnings. It did go lower trying to bounce, but it is not really helping your SK Hynix, still on the decline. Now, let's talk about all of that in this video. Micron, Sandisk, SK Hynix, Nvidia, AMD, and other semiconductors, how things are looking like before I let you know. None of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. So let's get to TSM because they had their earnings. Now, I'm going to quickly summarize things for you. They are investing more money in the manufacturing, that is 100 billion. They also forecast some of their expenditure increasing, but these companies are not going to put this much money unless they already have orders backlogged. Okay, they already have a good backlog and they are just going ahead on that. Now, having said that, market has been in the decline and it has been punishing no matter what the forward guidance is, no matter what the earnings are. Their forward guidance is also good technically. They do see a lot of demand. They also increased from 30% to 40% higher forecast for 2026. But price action on TSMC remains in the decline. A little bit of a bounce is coming, but as this we stay below 420, we have technically lost another leg lower. And we have been on the decline since 450 actually, right? And this is where things are just not getting any better. And having said that, let's make our way to the memory stocks because things are not getting any better there also. So let's get to SK Hynix first. So SK Hynix over here, as I have been telling you, that this alone cannot be used as a context to if it's bullish or bearish, because SK Hynix is an extension from the Korean market. So let's get over there. And as I have told you in my yesterday video also, that this is not making it any bullish. Prior context on SK Hynix is that we are on the decline, and thus this is the picture we have to take from here, the whole context, into the SK Hynix on the US side, the Nasdaq side. And here, as you can see, I told you picture these three candles. It's just a part of a rebound that you are seeing on the Korean SK Hynix. And thus, as you can see, the decline in the overall context, which we have been on the downside on SK Hynix, continues, and we are red today here as well. Pretty much giving all those gains, which technically were part of a rebound in the context of Korean SK Hynix. If you look at it, this was the part of that, all right? So not looking any better. We are still in the decline. I would say that it will be quite some days if there has to be any stabilization build. Right now there is no signs of that. Okay, so it is in the decline and that remains the case. Let's take a look at Micron. So Micron also continuing in the decline, testing still a next very important crucial zone. Now the thing is that overall direction is still bearish. Some transition tried to happen here on the multi-day side of the things, but eventually bulls couldn't turn it into the overall bullish strength. Now, and that remained just a multi-day of rebounds, and Micron remains in the decline, already losing a significant level again today, testing a next one, a little bit bouncing there, but it doesn't make it bullish, just a bounce right now. If you want to see this thing gain back in strength for the bull side, that can only happen if we get above 950. Until then, it's just a weakness or sideways action. Okay, so you cannot be really bullish as in, oh yes, Micron is good to go up again, until at least we start to get above $950 zone, this very zone. And thus the decline still continues. We're still in the declining price action. Next level 650. Sandisk also continuing in the decline, 8% down again. Yesterday buying that happened at that zone, I told you, it's just a bounce. It doesn't make it overall bullish. The context is that we are still in the negative structure and we are making our next leg lower. Let's get to the hourly interval, because if you want to be bullish on this thing, what will be that zone? That will be, we have to get above 1692 significant level. If we can do that, then only you can start to look, okay, some upside is possibly building up. Otherwise, no, until there, everything is still weakness or bearish, because the overall context is we are still in the negative direction. And here we are now looking at 1278 as the next zone, most likely also possibly 750. Don't want to scare you, but it's a possibility. Okay, so that's that. Now let's take a look at Nvidia, because Nvidia is red today, okay, at least for the day. Now the point is that technically we are still in the bullish price action on Nvidia, 204 above. Now definitely in the extensions, I say take partial profits, whatever. We did hit our one of the zones, okay, but the way you have to read it is overall structure on Nvidia is still bullish until 203. Yes, if we lose 203, 204, we're gonna come down to 199 and 50 cents. That technically means we have to manage our position size down or whatnot, but that way with a little bit of near-term weakness will again come. Overall, at this point, with this confirmation of breakout already, 195, unless we lose it, I don't see a bigger problem. But with the overall sector selling off, Nvidia is taking also the brunt of that. AMD liquidity grab kept selling it off, as you know the story. Please check out my previous videos if you want to know more about it. And our liquidity zone worked out just as how I mentioned. And so, and as if it's about to lose 500, this will mark the distribution phase on this complete, and we may start making legs lower on AMD there, much more like we have been seeing on other stocks. ARM is also been in the decline. Nothing has changed here, guys, for us. And 303 below, as I have been telling you, this is the recent break of the price action to the next zone. We have been declining since 380. I have been telling you that, but along the ways I have been mentioning, okay, what is the recent nearby stronger resistance? And this is the nearby, and below that we have been just continuing to the next zone of like 237, almost there. That's the zone I told you will get there, and almost there. So still in the decline, nothing changes. If you have to be bullish on this thing, you will still have to see it above $300, which is very far away. Broadcom, okay, so Broadcom is where we are losing one of the zones, losing one of the zone here, 386, which is okay. When I say which is okay, I mean, look, things overall can go sideways as well on Broadcom. Now with Broadcom, it's tolerable. Technically, it's price action. Yes, we are in the weakness here, below 386, multi-day weakness for sure. So technically, if you have a big position, you should be sizing down. If not, taking partial profits in these extensions. I don't have to repeat these concepts in my videos over and over again. In the extensions, if you can't tolerate the drawdowns, but I have been more talking about this as in a long-term perspective. Broadcom is still technically in this zone, fine, unless we start to lose 372, definitely. But we have lost one of the zone, which means that's the time. If you don't want to be in the drawdown, yes, your weakness is started, unless we get above 386 again. So, but it's not that dire for me that it's gonna go to nothing. These type of, when overall sector is selling off, these type of bounces around, it's okay to tolerate. Accordingly, that's how you build the position, so that you can tolerate risk. So your position sizing is very important in these cases. TSM, we already talked about it, selling off continuation after the bounce a little bit. Intel also remains in the negative structure for us here. Nothing has changed. $100 below, things are continuing to remain negative, and we remain bearish. Okay, so nothing has changed. And well, we have been bearish below 116, and prior to that I also gave you multi-day weakness 126, and nothing changes, guys. We gonna, looks like, continue the fall. Seagate also, nothing changes on this thing, nothing gets better. We are still in the decline on this as well, losing the next zone today almost. Next level is 695. Direction is still to the downside. If you are bullish, well, you cannot be bullish, but if you want to be like, okay, where will things turn bullish? Possibly bulls can only start to move the scale in their direction if we get above 841 on Seagate. Otherwise, no, we will remain in the negative side. All right, guys, quick update. This was it for this morning. And with that, if you are interested in checking out many other stocks, check out the details on my YouTube channel. Join the membership, and also my tools if you need them. Links are in the description of this video. And with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care. Bye.